God damn it. Of course, you gotta have the creepy music going. Hey Louis fans, Louis Vision here, and this evening we're going to be checking out 2 true scary Instagram horror stories. It's not enough that it's a scary story, it's a scary horror story. Oh god, I don't know. I see shit like this and I just think about that scene from Addams Family Values. You guys remember that? Sequel to Addams Family? Christina Ricci, all the originals. No, not even the originals. Shit, the black and white show was the original. Anyways, original to me, 90s movie. Get to the fucking point. It just makes me think of that scene where Wednesday tells the fucking her scary story around the campfire. And it's like, and all their old noses grew back. But oh shit, it's like I actually relate to this though. I'm one of you guys. It's like, oh fuck, that could happen to me.
I have an Instagram account with 1,100 followers.
It's like I'm watching
I had it set to
Goosebumps
public,
again,
so anybody could come onto my page and look at my pictures,
but for adults.
like them, and comment on them. So oftentimes I'd get people I didn't know liking my pictures and commenting on them. But one person stood out from the rest. I remember his first comment on one of my photos. It was a beach picture with one of my friends. So I was wearing a swimsuit. I had like 11 comments on it, but one of them was from somebody I didn't know. It was 3 flame emojis. I clicked the man's profile. He had 3 pictures, 80 followers, and he was following over 200 people, including me. All 3 of his pictures were of him, selfies, which didn't look right given that he looked like he was 40 or 50. I didn't mind though, it's expected to happen to a certain extent. However,
He's got
after
pictures
that
as
photo,
proof.
it started becoming a thing where the man would just comment on every new photo I posted. One comment just said hot. This one was a little creepier, honestly. But then 2 days later,
it's not as if he could have set up a fake
picture,
Instagram account
the
though.
man didn't
No, I'm
comment
kidding.
this time. Instead, he sent me a direct message. It said, "Hey, I just wanted to tell you that you're beautiful, even though I'm like 30 years older than you, LOL. I responded, LOL, thanks, which I'm surprised I did. Most people
You're probably going to have a lot more
ignored it.
creepy people
with, I would kill
messaging
to
you
meet a girl
now,
like
dude.
you.
Now that this is
I replied
out.
10 minutes later with thanks, hoping he wouldn't say anything else.
People.
But he got back to me with, maybe one day I'll meet you, ... LOL. I didn't reply to that one. I found everything about the guy creepy, but I didn't block him. I figured, why get rid of a free follow and likes? I hadn't heard from him until I posted a new photo. This one of my sister Carol and I in front of our house. The man commented quickly on the photo, saying, "You and your sister are so cute." Now it was becoming too much for me, so I removed the comment.
That's
and
too much
blocked him.
for you?
Later in the day,
I don't know.
Carol and I were home alone. I was in the bathroom doing my nails, getting ready to go.
I don't know if that's too much.
I noticed a car I didn't recognize pull up in front of the house through the window.
For real?
But only the front. The rest of the car was covered by the bush that separates our front yard from the neighbors.
You're describing your
Headlight
property
shut off,
too well.
But I didn't see anyone step
I'm just
out
kidding.
of the car. I took note of this only because we're on a dead-end block, so we don't get any through traffic. I shut the blind just because I was on full display. My sister was in her room on her laptop when the time came for me to leave. I didn't bother saying goodbye. Usually we just text each other that we're going out anyway. I went to my
In the
car,
same house?
looking at the mysterious car,
Big
which
house?
revealed to be a Maxima. The tinted windows mixed with the darkness of the night made it impossible to see inside of it. I got in my car, did a 3-point turn, and drove down the
Okay,
one-sided
so far
street
weird
to the
guy's been
nearest
liking
main
your
road.
photos.
I went to a social gathering at a friend's house. I wouldn't call it a party, but a decent amount of drinking went on.
And a
I cut
random
myself
car
off a little
went
early
outside
since
your
I knew
house.
I had to drive.
These are
But
the ramblings
still,
of a paranoid
I'll admit,
man.
and I don't condone this kind of behavior whatsoever. I was pretty tipsy when I was driving home. It was only a 5-minute drive.
You're driving home drunk.
I pulled up to my house, and the first thing I noticed
Hero of our story,
was the
ladies and
Maxima still
gentlemen.
parked out front.
I'm kidding.
I needed to know whose car was that. I passed it slowly.
The twist is going to be he is the villain.
I parked and texted
Turns
a
out,
few friends that
it was
I got
one of the
home safe
neighbors.
before stepping outside and
Didn't want to wake
my
anyone.
house.
Showed up late and
I
slept in
was
his
eyeing
car.
that car parked
I
out
panicked
front
and killed
all the
him.
way up to the front door,
Twist.
where I dropped my keys.
I'm listening.
At which point, for whatever reason, I was too scared to bend over and look for them. Instead, I rang the doorbell like 5 times so my sister would answer quickly. She never answered the door though, so I was forced to get on my knees and look for the keys. They actually landed right on the doormat. I opened the door and went inside pretty swiftly, taking one last look at the Maxima before shutting the door. It was past midnight, but my sister was usually still up this late, so I dizzily but quietly walked up the stairs and down the hall towards her door. And oddly enough, it was wide open, but the lights were out. Maybe she went out for once. I crept into the room, and my heart skipped a beat as my mind tried to put together the faint noise I was hearing. It took me a while to realize it was a whisper.
Maybe she was tired of my abuse. I'm just kidding, dude. Okay, I'll stop.
It was coming from the closet.
Even though I said I'll stop already.
The closet was cracked open, and I saw my sister peeping
It's
her
a
eyes
defense
through the
mechanism.
crack.
Fuck.
She was visibly shaken and appeared to be crying. I knelt down next to her and opened the closet all the way, whispering, "What's going on?" She didn't say anything.
This shit is
though.
freaky.
She just kept putting her finger on her lips, telling me to be quiet. I tugged at her arm to pull her out of the closet, and when she was out, I pushed the closet shut quietly. This revealed my sister's room again, as well as somebody clear as day standing direct center in my sister's room.
Oh my god.
I don't know if he was facing us or not, but that didn't matter because we both wailed as we ran together. I felt
Was it the guy who
vibrations
left
of
you
the man
nice
stomping
comments?
close behind us. We went straight for the car. I was able to lock the doors without even a second to spare before the man chasing us tried the door handle. When he realized it was locked, he started bashing at the window with his shoulder.
Oh shit.
All while my sister was screaming and wailing, making the matter worse. Through the intensity of the situation, I still was able to make the connection. It was the same man who had been stalking me on Instagram.
You sure?
I had to do a 3-point turn, but all the while I was honking the horn to get as much attention as possible from the neighbors.
Did you see him,
I
or
think
is
it
that
worked
just you
because he
being
got
a
into his car,
detective?
which turned out to be the Maxima, and did a 3-point turn as well. At first we thought he was tailing us.
This isn't
but
the first
instead,
time
he
someone's
booked it
broken
past
into your
us
house,
and down
dude.
another street to never be seen again. At that point, we just turned around and went back to the house.
Get an alarm.
I called our parents and then the police. The police were able to find out how the man broke in, through an upstairs window. He climbed up a ladder onto the awning and boosted himself up to the windowsill. I told the police about how he was stalking me on Instagram and must have somehow found my address when I posted my most recent picture with my sister, which included my house number. I tried to help them by giving the man's Instagram account, but when I went to the blocked accounts section, it was empty. That meant that the man already deleted his Instagram. Therefore,
He was
even
hurt
if there
that I
is a
didn't
way for
respond to
Instagram
his last
track
comment.
deleted users, it didn't matter because I didn't remember the
Left
man's
Instagram.
username. So I hate to say it, but there was nothing the police could do.
It had to have been him.
I've since set my Instagram to private and really only accept follow
Couldn't have
requests
been
from people
one
I
of
know now.
The other 1,100
Also,
people
a lot
following
more
me.
paranoid and wary of posting revealing photos.
Poor guy. Who are you referring to?
I came across something recently that has been freaking me the hell out. Before I get into my discovery, let me just get into a little backstory that makes the discovery even more disturbing. For the past few weeks or so, on several occasions, while either trying to sleep in my bed or doing something in my room with a light on at night, I would hear a single, faint yet audible tap on my window. I hardly want to call it a tap, because none of the sounds really resembled an intentional
Stop posting
tap.
your fucking address
It
on
sounded more so
Instagram.
like something accidentally being scraped or pressed against the glass very briefly. At first I thought it was just bugs flying into the window. but as the same sound kept happening at least 2 or 3 times a week, I started to get freaked out by it. So I told my dad, and he of course told me it's nothing, probably just bugs like I initially thought. So nothing happened for a few nights. But
Probably
then
is bugs.
I got a text from a friend. Well, not a friend. Just some guy I used to have a class with who somehow coerced me into giving him my number. He said, "Hey, I don't know if you remember me. We used to have a class together. I just wanted to let you know about this. I stumbled upon it by accident. And if you're unaware of it, that's pretty disturbing." Then he
I
added a
coerce
link to the
people into
bottom of
giving
the
me their
message.
number all the time.
I pressed it, and it took me to an Instagram page. The page was titled JP Unofficial. Those were my initials. But that wasn't the first thing I noticed. The first thing I noticed was the profile picture, which was me. And then the
God.
45 pictures uploaded to that account were all of me. They weren't like pictures that I took though, they were all candid. I mean, like, they were pictures I never even knew were taken. Some were of me at the beach, some were of me sitting in my car, but the newer ones got even weirder.
Here we go, this is freaky.
Some were of me in my backyard.
Oh my
And
god.
the worst ones were the most recent. There were pictures of me in my room, taken from outside my window.
Oh god.
Some of me
Imagine
sitting on my
that.
bed doing homework or texting. Others of me
I don't know if you
standing
live in an apartment
with
or a
one even
house,
of me
but-
in my underwear. I felt sick.
I'm in my
I felt
underwear.
like
I go in my
crying and
underwear
throwing
too. I
up.
walk around in my underwear.
All of the pictures
Imagine
had at
seeing
least
photos
2 or
of you
3
from
likes.
outside your house
Some
or
had
your
comments,
building.
but not comments pointing out how wrong this is. They were comments encouraging it, saying things like, "Go for it," or "hot," or "what I'd do if I could get my hands on her." The captions on the photos too. They were all things like "the love of my life."
This is the
or
story of a
"She went
girl.
to the beach today."
Read the
or,
description,
"I
guys.
just like to watch her." My mouth was
Unless
twitching as a
I'm
tear rolled down
assuming
my
the
face.
gender.
I was so disturbed, I can't even describe the emotions
Fuck.
I was feeling.
That just makes the story all the more
Then-
believable.
There was a sound again at the window. The sound. The unintentional scrape or tap.
You sure it's
And it
unintentional?
clicked. It made sense now. When I put 2 and 2 together, I simply snapped. I lost it and screamed
Should have been
louder
able
than
to
I'd ever
connect that
screamed
instantly.
before. My dad came rushing in with open arms to hug me and ask what's wrong. I showed him the Instagram page and explained the taps at the window.
Well, actually, no.
Plain
The
as a
tabs
stretch.
could still
I
easily
was
be
a mess and
bugs.
could barely speak clearly. My dad's expression went from gentle to horrified to downright angry. He rushed outside screaming, making
But,
a scene
your
for the
conclusion
neighbors,
also makes
looking for
sense.
the stalker. He then came inside and called the police. I gave the police the Instagram account and requested they track it as soon as possible.
I should just be
Law
quiet.
enforcement put the request into Instagram. By the time it was received, the account was deleted, but it didn't matter because Instagram was still able to recover the info, and the usage was traced to an old iPod Touch. Unfortunately, the device was untraceable. It was either destroyed or it had its
They
Wi-Fi
can do
turned
that?
off permanently. My dad saw how messed up I was, and he plans on
Not that
moving
they
us out
can
of
make
the
it
house within the
untraceable,
month.
but that...
Luckily, there haven't been any new sounds. But I've also made
Never
sure to
mind.
keep all my blinds shut 24/7, and always make sure I'm not being tailed while
Oh, I got
driving.
my blinds open.
All I could think to say to everybody is keep your Instagram private and always be alert to your surroundings.
I gotta get the word out for my channel, though. You know what I don't like on Instagram? Actually, I'll save it for when I gotta talk about this. This fucking video. It's okay. I'm gonna be watching something nice afterwards. A cringe compilation. We'll be right back after. It's getting dark. This commercial break. Okay, but I was gonna say, I don't even know if this is really a scary thing. It's more of an annoying thing, if anything. To say thing again, thing. Mean Girls reference. But I don't like the fact that Instagram recommends your account to people on your Facebook, okay? Like, how do they make that connection? How do they know that? Like, I realize it's the same company who owns both apps, but, you know, my Facebook account, I like to keep that private. I mean, I don't need people from work seeing the stuff I post on YouTube. Not everyone from work. A lot of people are cool, though. What's up? But yeah. I like to use Instagram to fucking... what's the word I'm looking for? Social media. My shit. Market. Get the word out. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm tired. It's late. I shouldn't be watching this scary shit. I'm not gonna be able to sleep. Well, you know what? I got another reaction after this, and I guess you could say these scary videos work better than coffee. Yeah, but fuck. Second one really got me. First one, I kind of roasted. But no, it's all good. Very entertaining. I love this shit. I love the stuff I react to catch a cheater, all that shit. Occasionally I'll roast it. I don't normally roast Mr. Nightmare. This was a rare occasion. Only the first half. No, good shit. I loved it. Gonna check out the next one, probably. Did I check out the last one? I don't know. Subscribe, find out, check it out. Check out the last Mr. Nightmare video and watch that one. And if you like that, am I centered? I mean, am I off to the right a bit or to the left? Is it like a mirror? Is it going to look reversed when I finally put this in the software and the computer? I mean, I guess both. Yeah, I'm tired. You'll probably just get a kick out of that shit. Right there, I'm Louis Vision.